try to imagine the great witches
Revelio.
I wouldn't bother yourself about that. Find myself some Bubba Tuba Plus. I'm sure Garlic. Soon get that complexion better.
Do you think I have a big forehead?
My great Khan?
My family has a lot of Muggle traditions, from my mother's side.
Revelio. Revelio. Protego. Revelio.
The Daedalian keys are back. Aren't they brilliant?
Is everything all right?
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm Nellie, by the way. I'm just so excited that the Daedalian keys are back.
The what keys?
The Daedalian keys. Surely you've seen them flying about. Rumour is that a former headmistress, Professor Moll, conjured them to protect the contents of certain locked cabinets years ago. Professor Black couldn't be bothered to disenchant the keys, and they appear every few years. You should try to catch one.
Why would I do that?
Each key will lead you to a locked cabinet somewhere in the castle. If you can manage to get the key into the cabinet lock, not an easy task, you may find a reward.
Why would Professor Mole conjure flying keys?
What I heard is that it had something to do with keeping Peeves out of things. But that may or may not be true. He's a poltergeist. I thought they could go almost anywhere.
Surely you'll be trying to complete the challenge as well.
I've tried, and I can't even get past the first cabinets. Perhaps you'll have better luck. I'd love to know what's in the cabinets.
Perhaps I'll give it a go.
I hope you do. In fact, I think I heard one of the keys in the astronomy tower. You should listen for them. I hope you follow a few keys at least. If you manage to open a cabinet, I'd love to know what you find, if anything.
I've always said that travel broadens the mind.
A Daedalian key. Wonder where it might lead me. There's the cabinet. How do I get this key in there? Yes. An old coin. Perhaps Nellie knows what it means.
Defense against the dark.
Find anything yet?
Hello, Arthur. Thought you might like to know that my map led to a doorway hidden within a portrait.
Oh, how clever! Mine led to the boathouse. Barely found the treasure before I saw the headmaster coming. He shooed me out of there, but not before I got a few galleons richer. What did you find?
I found what I believe is an authentic historian's uniform.
Oh, that's lucky. Seems as though we both had success. Glad I enlisted you to join me. Well, on to the next Hogwarts mystery. Wonder if a quick rummage round Weasley's office might yield anything interesting.
Sometimes I'm not fully sure if Ronan's teaching us a spell or having a practice himself.
Ah!
Were you able to follow one of the Daedalian keys?
Hello, Nellie. I managed to get a Daedalian key into its lock.
Brilliant! What did you find in the cabinet?
A curious token of some sort.
Looks like some sort of house token. I bet it unlocks house chests. I call them house chests. I've seen the one in Gryffindor and heard they're also in the other common rooms as well. Keep an eye out. I do hope you continue on. For so much effort, the prize must be something grand.
I should see this through. Hufflepuff house chest. I should see this through and find the Hufflepuff house chest.
He said I had.
It seems I'll need to find more house tokens if I'm to open this. Quite a few by the look of it.
Well, if I'm honest, I wish I had something to boast about. I really have made a mess of things.
Is everything all right?
Oh, hello. Thank you for asking. I'm Cressida, by the way, and I'm afraid everything's not all right. I may be in a spot of trouble with the librarian. You see, I'm fond of creating my own charms. Thought I'd perfected my light as a feather charm to use on my library books. My arms get so tired carrying them around all day. But I must have confused the Latin word for feather with bird in my incantation, because when I opened my bag just now in the library, they literally took flight.
That sounds brilliant, actually.
Thank you. Somehow I don't think the librarian will see it that way. I collect the books and remove the charm myself, except this isn't the first time one of my charms has threatened the peace of the library. Our meet told Madame Scribner they were my books flying around, so she said that if I caused her any more trouble, she'd write to my parents. Perhaps you could get them for me. There are only 5. She won't be suspicious of a new student looking around.
I suppose I could help if I have the time.
Oh, I'd very much appreciate it. One of the books is my diary. I'd rather it not fall into the wrong hands. If you could collect them and bring them to me, I can remove the charm.
I'm going to have to use Accio to get to those books. Got it. Only 4 more to go. Revelio. Reparo. Levioso. Revelio.
Healing can be as magical as any spell. Why can't students see that?
Revelio. Lumos. Accio. Revelio. Accio. Lumos. Lumos. Revelio. Reparo. Accio. Revelio. It's the last book. Now to take them back to Cressida.
You can't imagine how inconvenient travel was before I...
Revelio. Hello, Cressida. I collected your books, including your diary.
Oh, what a relief. Thank you. I'll happily take the heavy lot off your hands now.
Here you are.
Well, lesson learned. I certainly won't be practicing any charms in the library again anytime soon. Now, to work out where I went wrong. Perhaps I should start brushing up on my Latin. Thank goodness some people are trustworthy. Certainly wouldn't want anyone but me reading my diary.
Revelio. Professor, I'm glad to see you.
And I you. Thank Merlin you're in one piece. I heard about the attack. Trolls in Hogsmeade?
Sir, the trolls were wearing armor. It had that dark glow, like the dragon collar.
Goblin silver. Ranrock used it to control the dragon. But how? And why send trolls to...
They were there because of me. I overheard Ranrock talking with Victor Rookwood.
Ranrock was in Hogsmeade with Rookwood.
The trolls were Ranrock's distraction so that Rookwood could get to me, and he would have, had Serona and the patrons of the Three Broomsticks not intervened.
This is grave news indeed. If Ranrock's goblins and dark wizards are after you, they want what we found in that vault.
Speaking of the vault, do you think that Ranrock is working with any of the goblins at Gringotts?
I do not. Gringotts goblins aren't typically the friendliest of beings, but they have a great deal of integrity. No, I dare say after what happened to that poor banker, The goblins at Gringotts are no followers of Ranrock.
They're after the locket. You said you discovered something in it.
Yes. I discovered an inscription. When I read it aloud, this map appeared. Clever enchantment. It's a map of Hogwarts, to be sure, but I do not know where it leads.
It leads to the library. The restricted section, to be precise, and a bit beyond. I see traces of magic there on the map.
I suspected you would see something.
Shall we go?
I appreciate your enthusiasm, and I'm eager to discover what we may find there as well. But if our experience at Gringotts, let alone what happened to Miriam, taught me anything, it's that the path we're on is terribly dangerous. I'd like you to work with Professor Hecat a bit before we continue.
But sir, how dangerous could the library be? Perhaps we're only after a book.
Perhaps we are only after a book, but we should be prepared for anything. Once you've honed your defensive magic further, come and see me. I'll let Professor Hecat know to expect you.
Revelio.
What are you up to now?
I'm here about the new spell you wanted to teach me, Professor.
Good. Professor Fig indicated a certain urgency to you completing your defensive magic assignments. As such, you are to learn Incendio, the fire-making spell, handy for lighting torches, burning away spider webs, and, when necessary, defending against those who would wish to do us harm.
Sounds versatile.
Quite. But before we get started, I'd like you to complete a few tasks. You may be surprised by some of them. Astonishing how much students don't think their professors know. When you're finished, Come and see me. Then we shall begin working on Incendio. You know where to find me once you've finished.
Seems Crossed Wands isn't as secret as it's believed to be.
Revelio.
Ready for another round?
I think so. We shall see who shows up.
There's no one in the school I'd be afraid to duel.
I know, Sebastian, I know.
Hello, Lucan. Is the next round of Crossed Wands all set?
Why, yes it is. I've got a great match lined up. Ready for another round?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Brilliant. Are you dueling with a partner?
Yes, Natty.
Then let's get to it. Ready to get thrashed? Apologies in advance. Glad I didn't bet on you that round. Care to go again?
I'll give it another go.
Glad to hear it.
Expelliarmus!
There you go.
Care to go again?
I'll give it another go.
Glad to hear it. Care to go again?
I'll give it another go.
Glad to hear it.
Potato. Leviosa. Potato. Accio. Defendo. Simplify. Don't shy away, Leviosa. Leviosa. Accio. Potato. Accio. Leviosa.
Is that all you've got?
Lumos.
Potato.
Give them all four.
Accio.
Lumos.
Descend. Act like a winner. Arrest the momentum.
Care to go again?
I'll give it another go.
Glad to hear it.
Expelliarmus. Leviosa. Potato. Stupefy. Accio. Leviosa. Leviosa. Descendo. Stupefy. Leviosa. Stupefy. Potato. Stupefy.
There goes my way.
Stupefy. Potato. Accio. Leviosa.
You're better than that!
Lumos. Lumos.
Expelliarmus.
Care to go again?
I think I'd better rest for a bit.
Very well. We'll be waiting when you're ready.
Hello, Lucan. May I use the training dummy?
Of course. I'll fetch it and give you a list of combinations to practice. Ready to have a try now?
That would be wonderful.
Be sure to cast all your spells before the dummy lands. If you need to stop practicing before you finish all of them, let me know.
Accio.
Lumos.
Accio. Reparo. Accio.
Lumos.
You'll get it!
Accio. Reparo.
Keep trying! practice. You looked good out there.
Thank you, Lucan.
I say better to discover one's weaknesses during practice than during a duel. You'll be a fearsome challenger now.
Hello, Lucan. Is the next round of crossed wands all set?
Why, yes it is. I've got a great match lined up. Ready to redeem yourself?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Brilliant. Are you dueling with a partner?
Yes, Natty.
Then let's get to it.
Ready to get thrashed?
Apologies in advance.
Come on.
Leviosa. Leviosa.
Potato. You're better than that.
Expelliarmus.
Leviosa. Descendo.
Stupefy.
That's all you've got.
Stupefy. Accio.
Don't shy away now.
Arrest my Leviosa. Leviosa. Expelliarmus. The one. Leviosa. Descendo. Potato. Descendo. Act like a winner. Leviosa. Leviosa.
There goes my wager.
Accio. Give him more force. Leviosa. Potatoes. Accio. Leviosa. Care to go again?
I'll give it another go.
Glad to hear it. Arresto Mamego. Accio. Expelliarmus. Leviosa.
Lumos.
Leviosa. Leviosa. Accio. Leviosa. Stupefy. Accio. Potato. Care to go again?
I'll give it another go.
Glad to hear it. Arresto. Potato. Descendo. Leviosa.
That's all you've got.
Potato. Stupefy. Accio.
Descendo.
Expelliarmus.
Lumos. Lumos.
Arresto Mamego. Accio. Act like a winner. Leviosa. Care to go again?
I'll give it another go.
Glad to hear it.
Expelliarmus! Lumos.
Yeah.
Potato. Care to go again?
I think I'd better rest for a bit.
Very well. We'll be waiting when you're ready.
Hello, Lucan. Is the next round of crossed wands all set?
Why, yes it is. I've got a great match lined up. Ready to redeem yourself?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Brilliant. Are you dueling with a partner?
Yes, Natty.
Then let's get to it.
Ready to get thrashed?
Apologies in advance.
Like a winner. Lumos.
There goes my way.
Stupefy. Accio. Levio.
Descendo. You're better than that.
Care to go again?
I'll give it another go.
Glad to hear it.
Expelliarmus.
Potato.
Stupefy.
Mind the one!
Descendo.
Potato.
Stupefy.
Is that all you've got?
Care to go again?
I'll give it another go.
Glad to hear it.
You're better than that.
Care to go again?
I'll give it another go.
Glad to hear it.
Descendo!
Levioso! Accio!
That's all you've got.
Levioso! Accio! Expelliarmus! Arresto momento! Levioso! Stupefy! Tego! Levioso!
Care to go again?
I'll give it another go.
Glad to hear it.
Arresto momento!
Stupefy!
Descendo! You're better than that!
Stupefy! Accio! Tego! Levioso!
Arresto momento!
Stupefy! Accio! Levioso! Stupefy!
There goes my wager.
Levioso! Stupefy! Taste! Levioso!
Care to go again?
I'll give it another go.
Glad to hear it.
Tego! Stupefy! Levioso! Arresto momento! Expelliarmus! Accio! Levioso! Stupefy! Tego! Levioso! Levioso! Stupefy!
That's all you've got?
Accio! Like a winner! Levioso! Take a more forward! Levioso! Don't fly away now! Potato!
Descendo!
Levioso! Stupefy!
Care to go again?
I'll give it another go.
Glad to hear it.
Tego! You're better than that! Descendo!
I'm the one! Expelliarmus! Stupefy! Potato! Levioso! Expelliarmus!
my wager.
Care to go again?
I'll give it another go.
Glad to hear it.
Potato! Expelliarmus!
Levioso.
Descendo!
Accio. Levioso. I'm the one! Act like a winner! Levioso!
Potato!
Don't fly away now! Care to go again?
I'll give it another go.
Glad to hear it.
Potato!
Levioso.
Come on.
Accio.
Expelliarmus!
Levioso.
Potato!
Stupefy.
You're better than that!
Levioso.
Descendo!
There goes my wager.
Expelliarmus! Stupefy!
Accio.
That's all you've got?
Levioso.
Descendo!
Potato. Accio.
Arresto! Descendo!
Care to go again?
I'll give it another go.
Glad to hear it.
Potato! Arresto momentum!
Accio.
Expelliarmus!
Stupefy. The one. Levioso.
Stupefy!
Levioso. Accio. Levioso. Leave 'em all four.
Stupefy!
Accio.
Stupefy! Descendo! Arresto momentum! Potato!
Levioso. Stupefy. Care to go again?
I'll give it another go.
Glad to hear it.
Take some momentum. Stupefy. Defend it. Arrest the momentum. Take it. Stupefy. Expelliarmus. Accio. Levioso. Arrest the momentum. Stupefy. Stratego. Stupefy. Accio. Stupefy. Levioso. Levioso. Stupefy. Accio.
There goes my robe.
Stupefy. You're better than that. Levioso. Act like a winner. Stupefy. Arresto momentum. Expelliarmus. Stupefy. Levioso. Stupefy. Levioso. Stupefy.
Pity more people can't watch the duels.
Bravo!
I gave it my all.
You did indeed. The other duelists have already taken notice of you, but after that last round, they'll really have it in for you. You'd better keep practicing if you want a chance at winning, or at least surviving the next round. I'll let you know when we're ready. Hope to see you then. The next round is for all the gobstones, so to speak.
Assignment's all finished.
You could have gone a bit easier on me.
Seems I'm out of the tournament thanks to you.
Revelio.
Perhaps I should stick to potions.
I trust Mr. Brattleby was...
I finished all of the tasks you gave me, Professor Hecat.
Glad to hear it. Then you should be ready to learn Incendio.
Should be, Professor.
Yes. I'm sorry to say, I visited enough careless colleagues at St. Mungo's to assure you that fire is a fickle servant. Your spellcasting has impressed me thus far, but please maintain focus. I would rather we not end today's lesson with your robes aflame. Let us begin. And remember, focus on the proper wand movement. Concentrate, and keep your wand steady. Good work. Set up a few targets for you.
Incendio!
You're getting it. Keep at it. And do try not to incinerate yourself. Setting things ablaze is certainly cathartic, isn't it?
Incendio!
I wonder if you might be able to help me with a small, project.
You wanted to speak with me?
I did. Hello, I'm Duncan Hobhouse. Pleasure to meet you. I've heard all about you, of course, confronting trolls and dragons.
Oh, that's nice to hear. I've had my share of adventure. I hope my reputation's warranted.
I'm going to presume your reputation is in fact warranted, in which case, you are precisely the person I need. You see, we were learning to repel boggarts in Professor Hecat's class, and, well, mine unfortunately took the shape of a puffskein.
Oh, they seem innocent, but their tongues can be most disturbing.
Exactly. I wish more of our fellow students agreed with you. Regardless of how reasonable I believe my fear of puffskeins to be, I'm beginning to get a reputation as a coward. Some have even taken to calling me Puffskeen Dunkeen.
I'm sorry, but you have to admit that's rather clever.
I do not have to admit that. Everett said the same thing. Anyway, to make matters worse, I stupidly blurted out that I must be braver than people think, since I have been in the hidden herbology corridor.
The hidden herbology corridor?
Yes. Rumor has it that the herbology professor before Professor Garlic kept dangerous plants there. It's supposedly so overrun now that no one dares enter it anymore. I was hoping you could go there and bring back evidence that I could use to show that, well, I'd gone in. Say a bit of an exceptionally dangerous plant of some kind.
Very well. If I'm in the area, perhaps I shall take a look.
Grand. I'd very much appreciate it. Come and find me if you get the proof. I shall be forever in your debt.
Hidden herbology corridor. Sounds intriguing.
Prove my bravery yet?
Can you remind me of our arrangement?
Certainly. I need you to sneak into the hidden herbology corridor and bring back some sort of dangerous plant. Then I'll tell everyone I found it. That should get people to stop calling me Puffskeen Dunkeen.
If I had to pick a favorite professor.
Revelio.
Brindalow in my bed.
Revelio. Lumos. Incendio. Lumos. Levioso. Incendio! Lumos. Levioso. Incendio. Accio. Revelio. Revelio.
How can one not fancy Professor Garlic? Where did you get your dragonite glove?
Got it.
As a motherborn, I never expected to come face to face with a man eating his dad.
Wish I could have studied here when Philip. Incendio! Revelio!
It's a relief to finally have an answer as to why that portrait was empty.
Good on you for stopping that troll.
Revelio. Revelio. Revelio.
Revelio. These dry vines are one spark away from becoming kindling. Incendio!
This must be the entrance to the hidden herbology corridor. Devil's Snare seems to thrive in darkness. Perhaps it doesn't care for light. Lumos.
Incendio! Protego! Lumos. Reparo. Lumos.
Seems the Devil's Snare was protecting a chest of some kind.
Lumos. Revelio. Lumos. Incendio.
Lumos. I imagine a piece of that enormous venomous tentacular would be enough for Duncan to prove his bravery.
Incendio. Lumos. Lumos. Revelio.
Have you found anything to, prove my bravery yet?
Hello, Duncan. I have the proof you wanted.
That's one leaf. Must have been a giant venomous tentacula. It's even more than I expected. I knew you were the one to ask. I appreciate you getting it for me.
Of course. I hope this helps you prove yourself.
This is sure to put an end to Puffskein Dunkeen for good when I show everyone in the common room tonight. This'll show Everett how ridiculous that nickname was. Thank you again, and have a good day. I know I will. Thank you for all of your help. No more Puffskein Dunkeen for me.
Revelio.
Awful when they ask you a question, though, isn't it? Little faces. I'll just die. Never forget what that Hufflepuff girl said in 1421. What? Dudley Stone. Oh, that's class, that is.
Ah, there you are.
Hello, sir. You'll be pleased to know that I worked on my defensive magic with Professor Hecat.
So I hear. She tells me you've taken rather well to your new wand. You must continue to work with her and your other professors to improve your skills. That said, I don't wish to postpone our visit to the library any longer. So, shall we proceed?
Fig! I have work for you. Come.
Headmaster, I'm with a student and my schedule
Your schedule will wait indefinitely, as will your student. I would think that after all the trouble you caused me with Osric, you'd be eager to make amends. My office, 5 minutes.
That man is exasperating. Unfortunately, our trip to the restricted section will have to wait a bit longer.
But, Professor...
We have no choice. It would be unwise to provoke our illustrious headmaster further. I shall find you when I've completed whatever toils I must endure.
Sebastian mentioned sneaking into the restricted section. Perhaps he'll have an idea.
Sebastian, there you are.
There you are. You promised me an explanation for what happened in the Three Broomsticks. Not many students have Victor Rookwood's attention. What was that all about?
Seems he's working with Ranrock. And Ranrock is after something I found at Gringotts.
Ranrock? And when were you at Gringotts?
Professor Fig and I ended up there after the dragon attack. It's quite the tale. Fig had this portkey.
A portkey? To Gringotts? I'm not sure I follow.
I barely follow myself, and I was there. Anyway, we ended up in an ancient vault where we found a map. That map leads to the restricted section.
You can't be serious.
Deadly serious. Professor Fig has insisted that I not tell a soul about any of this. I've probably said too much.
Understood. Your secret's safe with me. Whatever it is.
Thank you, Sebastian. You mentioned being clever enough not to get caught in the restricted section.
And I am. Meet me outside the library tonight, and tell no one.
What will happen if we're caught in the restricted section?
Detention, no doubt. But a word of caution or two will help. For one, avoid Peeves the poltergeist. Aside from wanton destruction of property, he loves nothing more than telling on the likes of us.
How concerned should I be about the librarian?
Madam Scribner doesn't take kindly to clandestine activities taking place amongst her precious books, so do all that you can to avoid her. She and I have had our entanglements, but I can hold my own against her. You may not be so lucky.
Thank you, Sebastian. I'll meet you later.
See there? That's the door we need to reach. And those annoying prefects would love nothing more than to rat on us to Scribner, so don't let them see us. Understood?
I can be sneaky. Let's go.
Hold on now. There's a spell you should know. The Disillusionment Charm. Good for getting places you're not supposed to be. Cast it and you'll appear as little more than a trick of the light, just as long as you keep your distance and stay quiet.
You mean I'll actually be able to turn invisible?
Something like that. It's not as foolproof as a cloak, but those are expensive. And spells are free. Give it a try. Quietly now.
That sounded suspicious. You should have known better than to cross my path.
Silent as a grave. We must remain blast. The librarian's still here. Quick, behind the bookcase.
You told me the librarian would be gone by now.
I said usually, but it'll still be all right. Do you see her desk behind me? The key is in the drawer of that desk. Now, here's what we're going to do. I'll create a distraction to draw her away. You focus on getting the key. I'll meet you outside of the restricted section.
Wait, why do we need a key? Isn't there a spell for this?
Alohomora. That's how I always used to get in. But the librarian twigged that I knew the spell and cast an anti-Alohomora charm on the lock. So now it's just this key. But don't worry. I said I'd get you in, and I always keep my word. Trust me.
Is someone there? Is that you, Peeves? Goodness gracious. Mess.
That wasn't so difficult after all. Now, to find that book.
Oh, that one's charmed to look more useful than it is. It's fooled me twice. Never judge a tome by its cover, I say. Ghost, don't let her see you. should be in the clear. There's no need for us to be skulking about. I'll be quieter than a jobberknoll.
So what is it you've been looking for?
I'm looking for a cure to help my twin sister, Anne, so that she can return to Hogwarts. Because Merlin knows everyone else has given up.
Why do you think you'll find a cure? Section. Does the Hogwarts matron have nothing that can help Anne?
No! We've tried everyone from Nurse Blaney to St. Mungo's. But I can research on my own. No need to concern yourself with that right now. Let's focus on what you're after. Which is what, precisely?
I'll know it when I see it.
You're being awfully cryptic.
Who have we here? Sebastian Cello and his new little friend, out exploring where they shouldn't be. Naughty, naughty, you'll get caughty.
Peeves, don't
I'm going to tell, I'm going to tell, I'm going to tell.
Oh, blasted Peeves! I've got to stop him, or at least get to the librarian with a good excuse for all of this.
Wait, I don't want you getting into trouble for me.
I have a way with the faculty when it comes to disciplinary matters. Besides, I like having friends who are in my debt. Now go. Good luck in your search. Now, where has that damned poltergeist got to?
I know just the spell to repair this armor. Revelio. Reparo. Revelio. Protego.
Of course. Traces of ancient magic.
Lumos. There must be more to this room. That's it!
Where might this lead? Not surprising. Just at the ready.
Revelio. Lumos. Incendio! Levio! Protego! Stupefy! Levioso! Accio!
This must be the way forward. But to where?
Revelio.
Nearly there. Best keep my wits about me. It is a book after all.
Revelio. You wanted to see me? Headmistress Fitzgerald, Professor Rackham.
Miss Isadora Morganach, welcome.
Professor Rookwood, Professor McCaw.
We understand that you are adjusting well to life at Hogwarts.
I am.
I am glad. Especially in light of your unusual situation, starting as a 5th year.
As it happens, I was also admitted to Hogwarts as a 5th year. I've never heard of another like us.
Miss Morganach, when we spoke yesterday after class, you asked about the beautiful swirls you saw years ago when we visited your hamlet.
I recognized you all immediately. I cannot thank you enough for what you did.
We were glad to help.
And yes, I did see swirls of magic everywhere that day. My father insists it was my imagination running wild, but it was certainly real to me.
It was not your imagination.
Percival, Professor Rackham can see them too. But we have never known of another who could.
I don't understand. What are they?
The whispers or traces that appear when a particular form of ancient magic is wielded.
Ancient magic?
Few are capable of wielding it. Hogwarts itself is a stronghold of ancient magic.
So if I can see traces of ancient magic, does that mean I can wield it too?
With the proper training.
But let us not get ahead of ourselves, Miss Morganach.
Before I can train you to wield such magic, you must first master all that Hogwarts has to offer.
A magic this powerful can do great harm in the wrong hands. It must be wielded by a select few. As such, we ask that you not speak to anyone about what we have discussed here today.
Sebastian!
Sneaking in the restricted section again! I had thought we were through with this mischief. Clearly detentions are insufficient. I'm afraid I must take this to the headmaster.
But that being said, Peeves informs me that you didn't come alone tonight. If someone has coerced you, I would have you tell me. You're a bright boy. Don't waste this.
There was nobody else. I came alone.
Oh, Sebastian. What will your uncle say?
Accio. Potato. Leviosa. Potato.
My mother used to say I was lazy. Her own fault for teaching me Accio.
House elves are Wizard Fine's best friend. Always have been.
She stands her ground, that woman. I'll give her that.
Yes, she's most amiable. Although I suppose I'd be amiable if someone was giving me money.
Oh, Sirona's not after the money. It's
It's about pride for her. She thrives on the responsibility of the three broomsticks.
How so?
She means that Serona holds genuine concern for her patrons. She'd put herself in front of danger if it came to it.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. She wouldn't see anyone harmed, not on her premises.
Oh, I didn't know you were going to say that. I wouldn't have said it otherwise.
I didn't mean to imply there was any harm in you saying what I was going to say. I didn't mean that.
Oh, I'm very relieved. I would hate for you to have thought that I would say what you were going to say.
Not deliberately.
No, of course. Had it been deliberate, then obviously we'd have an entirely different matter on our hands.
An entirely different matter.
A very different matter.
Well, this has been a delight. I shall look forward to escaping to the three broomsticks. My first opportunity.
Hengist of Woodcroft certainly knew how to plan a city.
The tales of Beetle the Bard still ring true today.
Old Spouthole Spavin's been minister for so long, I don't remember who came before him.
Those that go to Azkaban never had a chance in the first place.
We have everything a young student might need when it comes to potions. Have a good look around. Very good. Never hurts to keep my stocks replenished. I hope to see you again. Farewell. What can I do for you today? I hope to see you again. Farewell for now.
She did say that.
I thought she did. I hope you know that it isn't true.
Well, of course you're going to say that.
I swear, she was only itchy because of a stinging jinx that the other girl put on her. It was not a bite from a flea.
She did say it was quite fierce, which doesn't sound too much.
And you should have seen her face. It was horrific.
Well then, it's clear the girl was mistaken and your Puffskein is innocent. Or should I say, clean?
Thank you. Glad someone finally believes me.
What's that red spot on your hand?
What? Oh, Nothing. Scratched myself with a quill.
You are such a fibber. Our family has a crop, and last summer he picked up fleas. I know a flea bite when I see it.
Oh, well, just don't tell anyone, will you? He got them from one of Howin's Neasels, I'm sure of it.
And shall you be telling Howin of this school negligence?
Not on your life. I'd spend the entire day in Hogwarts if I could. You're brave though, aren't you? I've seen you in herbology. Frankly, I'd rather limit the next casualty.
You cannot be serious. Goblins working with Rookwood makes no sense.
It is rather unorthodox, to say the least.
Unorthodox? It's inconceivable. It's... Ah, Fig. You have a visitor. I'll see what I can find out.
Sir, I was able to search the restricted section while you were with Professor Black. It was a book we were after.
What? That's... Wait. You accessed the restricted section? But how? Thinking on it, perhaps it's best you spare me the details.
Fair enough. In fact, the book was below the restricted section, as it appeared on the map.
I want to hear everything. First, let's have a look. Oh dear. Some of these pages seem to be missing. It appears someone has got to the book before us. Still, I will need time to study what remains. Perhaps we can still salvage something useful, though it may take some time. I wonder why it was here, below Hogwarts.
I think I know, sir. I saw 2 more memories where I found the book.
Another pensive. Godric's heart.
The man we saw before, Percival Rackham, was a professor here. The first memory showed him and 3 other professors using ancient magic to restore a hamlet from a drought.
Miriam was right. And the second memory?
In the second, they were talking to a student who started as a 5th year, like I did. She could see traces of magic too.
Why those memories? Perhaps this book will explain. I'll have to take it with me to London. The headmaster has insisted that I speak directly to the minister about George's death.
What will you tell them about Mr. Osric's death?
I don't know how much I dare say. George tried to convince the ministry about Ranrock, but to no avail. My instinct is to follow the path we are on for the moment and keep the details to ourselves until we know more.
I understand. I'll see what I can learn about the missing pages while you're gone.
Good. Don't neglect your studies. Your wand work is improving by the day. But you'll want to pay attention in herbology and potions. There's more to magic than spellcasting.
Plenty to keep me occupied while you're gone.
You've done exceptionally well. I look forward to seeing all that you've accomplished when I return. Oh, and don't neglect your friends. You may be surprised by how much you can learn from them as well.
Meet me in Lower Hogsfield as soon as possible. I would like to talk to you about Rookwood and Harlow, and it might be best to do so outside of the castle.
Professor Fig and Weasley have asked that I teach you an additional defensive spell. Please complete the assignments I have given you, and then proceed to see me in my classroom.
Incendio!
Future champion coming through!
Hello, Lucan. I'd like to practice with the training dummy.
Excellent idea. This time will be a bit more of a challenge. Ready?
That'd be brilliant.
Wonderful. I'll set things up. Remember to cast all the spell combinations before the dummy lands again. If you need to stop practicing before you finish all of them, let me know.
Accio! Incendio! Accio! Incendio! Leviosa! Accio! Incendio!
Keep trying.
Accio. Incendio. Leviosa.
Nicely done. You'll get it.
Leviosa.
That was something.
Leviosa.
Keep trying.
Leviosa. Accio. Leviosa. Accio. Leviosa. Leviosa. Incendio. Leviosa. Accio. Leviosa. 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 Accio. Incendio.
That's it.
Accio. Incendio. Leviosa. Incendio. Leviosa. Accio. Incendio. Leviosa. Accio. Incendio. Accio. Incendio. Leviosa. Accio. Incendio.
Excellent form. Impressive wand work. I'd hate to face you in a duel.
Thanks, Lucan. You've been a great help.
Oh, stop. Don't make me blush. Seriously, well done. Training dummies will think twice before challenging you again. Plus, you'll be even more formidable in crossed wands. Other duelists had better beware.
Hello, Lucan. Is the final round of crossed wands ready?
Big match today. It all comes down to this. The moment that we find out if your training and dedication is enough to win it all. Ready for a shot at glory?
I certainly am.
Brilliant. Are you dealing with a partner?
Yes, Natty.
Then let's get started.
We can make this a real victory.
That's the spirit.
That's all you've got?
I'm the one!
Confringo.
Descendo.
They made a crup's breakfast out of you that round. Care to try again?
Yes, I'm ready now.
Very well. Good luck out there.
Come on, descendo!
Accio. Arresto momento. Leviosa.
Care to try again?
Yes, I'm ready now.
Very well. Good luck out there. Care to try again?
Yes, I'm ready now.
Very well. Good luck out there.
You're better than that!
Protego.
Stupefy. Expelliarmus. Tego.
Fringo.
Stupefy. Expelliarmus. Stupefy. Fly away now. Accio. Protego. Expelliarmus. Stupefy.
I'm the one!
Leviosa. Stupefy.
Care to try again?
Yes, I'm ready now.
Very well. Good luck out there.
Leviosa. Stupefy. Accio. Incendio. Expelliarmus. Confessego. Stupefy. Defendo. Stupefy. Arresto momentum. Tego.
Fringo.
Care to try again?
Yes, I'm ready now.
Very well. Good luck out there.
Tego.
That's all you've got?
Confringo. Incendio. Expelliarmus.
There goes my way now.
Arresto momentum. Stupefy.
You're better than that!
Arresto momentum. Stupefy. Tego.
Care to try again?
Yes, I'm ready now.
Very well. Good luck out there.
Stupefy. Leviosa. Leviosa. Stupefy. 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 Confringo. Incendio.
Fringo.
Tego. Leviosa. Arresto momentum. Stupefy. Leviosa. Confringo. Stupefy. Stupefy. Incendio. Activina. Stupefy. Take a fender.
Care to try again?
Yes, I'm ready now.
Very well. Good luck out there.
Leviosa. Arresto momentum. Expelliarmus.
That's all you've got?
Stupefy. Defendo. Leviosa. Expelliarmus. Confringo. Stupefy.
You're better than that! Fringo.
I'm the one. Stupefy. Tego. Incendio. Stupefy.
Care to try again?
Yes, I'm ready now.
Very well. Good luck out there.
Arresto momentum. Tego. Incendio. Confringo. Leviosa.
There goes my way.
Care to try again?
Yes, I'm ready now.
Very well. Good luck out there.
Arresto momentum. Take more. Expelliarmus. Leviosa. Stupefy. Accio. Leviosa. Tego. Incendio. Leviosa. Leviosa. Accio winner. Stupefy. Tego. Accio. Stupefy. Arresto momentum. Leviosa.
Care to try again?
Yes, I'm ready now.
Very well. Good luck out there.
Leviosa. Confringo. Defender.
This is the one!
Incendio. Stupefy. Leviosa. Expelliarmus. Leviosa.
Care to try again?
Yes, I'm ready now.
Very well. Good luck out there.
There goes my way.
Confringo.
Confringo.
Care to try again?
No, I don't think so. Not right now.
Understandable. But don't take too long. We'll be waiting.
If I can just stop that. Wonder how Sharp injured his leg.
And the boys don't make Kelly.
smell. Is she growing Punja's onion again?
Good morning, Professor Garlic. How wonderful it is to see you again, Lenora dear.
Oh, here. You'll need these for today's class. A little treat for your auntie.
Ah, hello. Class, please welcome the newest rose in our garden. We do look forward to growing together. How thrilling it is to have everyone back together again. This year will be filled with enchantment and excitement, but the most important thing cultivated in herbology is knowledge. The prudent herbologist is no more afraid of the venomous tentacula than the bouncing bulb. Now then, today we will be acquainting ourselves with the mellifluous tuber known as the mandrake root. Accio. Let's see if we can't make our fibrous friends a bit more comfortable, shall we? First, let's protect our ears. Now, everyone, grip their mandrake by the tendrils and give it a firm tug. The soil should envelop the root like a warm, dirty blanket, putting the mandrake right at ease. Reparo! I'm very sorry about that. Yours was a bit mature, I'm afraid. All right then, off you go. Splendid work, everyone. Now, for our next task, we'll be planting dittany at our potting tables. You can all get started. I need to have a brief word with our new student.
I wonder if hippogriffs like knotgrass.
Yes, Professor?
Firstly, well done with your mandrake. They can be rather difficult to get a grasp of.
Actually, I enjoyed it. I couldn't help but catch your enthusiasm.
How kind of you. It seems you're already taking to herbology like a mandrake to fresh soil. Now, as I mentioned, next we'll be planting dittany. Let us find you some seeds.
I already have some, Professor. Picked them up in Hogsmeade.
You visited the Magic Neep. Wonderful! A prepared student is bound to bloom. I've arranged for you to have your own potting table here in the classroom. Wasn't easy to spare one on such late notice. Plant the seeds there now, and you can return to harvest them later. Even with soil, sunlight, and a bit of magic, they will take time to grow.
Let's see how to balance my star thistle arrangement. Miffler's fancy. Pardon me, Professor. What am I supposed to do with the dittany seeds?
Your part in all this floral alchemy is simple. Take the seeds to your potting table, plant them, and then wait for harvest time.
The best time to plant a seed is last season. The second best time is now.
Dittany's restorative properties make it a vital ingredient in the Wiggenweld potion, as you all should know from Professor Sharp's class. Well done! Once it can be harvested, your dittany will be ready to use in Wiggenweld potion. I'll let Professor Sharp tell you about that. Now, what say we branch out? Introduce you to a different different sort of flora, the Chinese chomping cabbage. You'll find that some plants are better suited to uses outside of a cauldron. The cabbages do get testy without something to chew. Fortunately, I have a dummy for them to gnaw on. Dear, and let them have a good chomping.
Yes, Professor.
They're in the other greenhouse. It's just at the end of the footbridge leading out of this room. Your classmate, Mr. Pruitt, has kindly offered to accompany you. Come back and see me when you're finished. Oh, and mind your fingers. They do bite. Revelio. Keep at it. A garden requires patience as much as water and sunlight. The venomous tentacula isn't so much murderous as it is...
Hello. Saw you on your way to Hogsmeade the other day. Nice to meet you. I'm Leander. I'll be showing you the Chinese chomping cabbages. Up these stairs will take us there, but your lead. Nice work in Defense Against the Dark Arts, by the way.
Excuse me?
Your duel with Sebastian! And he's good. Thinks he's really good. But you outright slaughtered him. It was brilliant.
Oh, well, thank you.
I nearly put Sebastian in his place myself. I mean, I would have, if Hecate hadn't stopped me.
Didn't she stop that?
Here we are, home of the Chinese chomping cabbage. Now, see that dummy? Just toss the cabbages at it, and they'll do the rest.
I'm sorry. What do I need to do?
Garlic said she wanted you to have a go at tending the cabbages. Give them some time to chomp and whatnot. Nothing to it, really. Just toss some of those Chinese chomping cabbages out. You'll see fairly quickly why we call them that. Look at that! They'll chomp anything they can get their mouths on. Mum planted some in her garden last year to keep the gnomes out. Did save her the de-gnoming, but they left her honking daffodils in tatters. Vicious little bastards, aren't they? My kind of plants. Not like stupid booba tubers and bouncing bulbs. The kind of plants that'd have your back in a fight. Not saying you can't go it alone, but... well, imagine that wasn't a dummy.
I suppose they could prove useful outside of the greenhouse. Nothing wrong with a bit of backup, even if it is from a cabbage.
It's chaos out there. Trolls in Hogsmeade and such. You can't be above throwing a cruciferous vegetable if necessary. Dogweed and deathcap has more of them, if you're keen. Other plants too. Ones your parents wouldn't plant in the garden. You get the idea. Anyway, we probably ought to head back to class. Take your time. I'll see you back in class.
With that helpful reminder as to why we should always wear our dragon hide gloves, I shall end our lesson here. Terribly sorry, Mr. Clopton.
I tended to the Chinese chomping cabbages, Professor.
Remarkable plants, aren't they? I hope they weren't too much trouble. Oh, don't see any bite marks or missing digits. And good, as you do seem to be quite green-fingered. Oh, I'm eager to see your skill in the soil continue to blossom.
Magical plants have so much to offer. I'm eager to learn more.
I'm glad. Herbology is a bounteous subject. Tend to your garden, and it will tend to you. Huh. Well, I suppose that's everything. Do come by for a chat sometime. I so enjoy checking in with my new students.
Hope those mandrakes are really relishing their new pots. Only cost me my damned hearing.
I do wonder about Professor. We must first understand.
I should think Professor Garlick would be more careful with her mandrakes.
Did you know that you can use the mandrake to defend yourself? Why, the very idea.
It's a relief to finally have an answer as to why that portrait was empty. Revelio.
Our neighbor at home knows someone who's related to the inventor.
Revelio. Revelio.
Revelio. Revelio. This could prove dangerous if I'm not careful.
It is good to see you, my friend.
Hello, Natty. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. I was there, and I saw what happened with Rookwood and Harlow at the Three Broomsticks. I have been worried about you.
I'm all right at the moment.
If you don't mind my asking, why were they looking for you?
They want something that Professor Fig and I found at Gringotts.
When were you at Gringotts?
Just before we came to Hogwarts. In fact, it's why I was late to the sorting ceremony. A portkey brought us there after the dragon attacked our carriage.
What on earth?
There's one more thing. It's a bit odd, if I'm honest. Professor Fig says I have a rare connection to a powerful form of ancient magic.
What does that mean?
I'm still learning, but I can see traces of it. And I've cast magic I can't otherwise explain. I know that's a lot to absorb.
It is. And I will have more questions. For now, it is safe to say that Rookwood and Harlow are a threat to both of us. To all of us. Which is why I wanted to speak to you. Everyone has been talking about you defending Hogsmeade from that troll attack. And I shall never forget watching Serona stand up to Rookwood and Harlow in the Three Broomsticks. Both of you have inspired me to take a stand of my own.
What sort of stand?
Men like Rookwood and Harlow are the reason my mother and I left Matabeleland. I am not going to sit by and watch them destroy my new home.
Good. Rookwood and Harlow are a dangerous pair, and you should know that Rookwood is in league with Ranrock.
I had heard they were seen in Hogsmeade together. All the more reason they must be stopped. Rumor has it that Theophilus Harlow runs Rookwood's day-to-day operations. Taking him down would cripple Rookwood's entire enterprise.
That may be true, but shouldn't Officer Singer handle someone like Harlow?
I spoke with her. She was polite, but perhaps understandably would not discuss details with a student. I overheard some of Rookwood's lot talking about a massive poaching operation that Harlow is planning. I was thinking that we could investigate a bit, try to get the evidence that Officer Singer needs.
All right. But how?
I am going to watch and listen, find out precisely what Harlow is up to. I shall reach out when I know more. In the meantime, remember, I am here if you need me.
Thank you, Natty.
Be on your guard.
Revelio.
I beg your pardon. How dare you threaten me?
What's going on here?
I never thought Ramrock's loyalists would go this far. They must have come this way. Think!
I I've no idea who it is you think I might have seen. I've been busy with my research. I do not have time to...
Victor Rookwood don't give a doxy's nip back your time. Oi! Speak of the devil. Mr. Rookwood would like a word with you.
A student? You can't be...
Enough out of you.
Leave her alone.
Stupefy!
So... Enough yet.
I'll watch the light go out of your eyes. Go there! Stop! Because I can hold them off!
I'm not going anywhere with
You take this student over my dead body! Not today! How embarrassing!
What on earth just happened? I've never been accosted in such a manner, and so close to Hogwarts.
Are you all right?
I am, thanks in no small part to your excellent defensive skills. Care to tell me why two Ashwinders were ready to dispatch me to get to you?
Ashwinders?
Victor Rookwood's thieves and extortionists, his little cronies. They seemed quite keen on you.
It's a long story, but thank you for your help.
Well, you've avoided them for the moment. Priya warned me things were getting dangerous. Best get moving on my research before they return.
You mentioned someone named Priya.
Yes, my wife. She's the one who piqued my interest in Merlin. Gave me a book when we were students at Hogwarts. Typical hard-working Hufflepuff, brilliant potioneer, has her own shop in Nocturne Alley. She's a travelling vendor. Hears what's going on in the Highlands before I do.
You're a researcher.
Nora Treadwell at your service, historian and archaeologist specialising in Merlin's work and life.
I thought that Merlin and the tales about King Arthur's court were mere myth.
Mere myth? You're lucky Sir Cadogan didn't hear you. Chatters on endlessly about his connection to Merlin from his portrait at Hogwarts. Merlin attended Hogwarts, you know, and I'm studying some curious fixtures he left here centuries ago.
Fixtures?
These vine-covered pillars, dozens of them, all around the area. I've taken to calling them the Trials of Merlin. I believe he created them as a diversion for his fellow Slytherins. He was terribly fond of puzzles and enigmas.
I can see why you're so interested in Merlin. I'd be keen to know more about the trials.
Well then, I'll let you in on a little secret. No one has yet managed to figure out how they work. But I believe I have just unlocked a crucial clue. I suspect that Mallowsweet is an important component in getting the trials to work.
Mallowsweet?
Versatile herb. Merlin repeatedly mentioned it in his writings. I had just arrived to test my theory when I was so rudely interrupted. You see, each swirl in Merlin's writing has a symbol in the centre. That started me thinking, what if...
The Mallowsweet is meant to be placed at the centre of the symbols.
Precisely. Would you care to do the honours? We can see what comes of our little hypothesis. I brought a trunk chock full of Mallowsweet with me. It's just over there by my tent.
This trunk?
Yes, take plenty, even if you already have some.
I have the Mallowsweet.
Lovely. Now, notice the vines on these pillars here, as well as a stone swell on the ground. Each trial has these features. Place the mallow sweet on the swirl, and we'll see what happens.
My word! Did you see that? The vines disappeared.
What should I do now?
This is uncharted territory. I am curious about these pyres.
Incendio! Merlin's beard!
The flames make the pyres sink.
How beautiful! What a day. I can hardly believe it.
I take it we can call that a success.
We can indeed. However, I now have even more questions. How does it work? I must review my notes. I may have missed something.
Are all of the trials like this one?
Oh, not precisely. Well, I think each has those telltale vines and the swirl on the ground. You should feel free to solve them as you come across them. I believe I have what I need to continue my research. My guess is that each will also require mallow sweet, which you can find in Hogsmeade should you need more. I really must be off. Such a pleasure to meet you. And do be careful out here. Now I've got what I needed, I shall return to the safety of my notes and books.
You for some assistance.
Hello? Can I help you?
Oh, thank goodness. Yes. My name is Grace Pinch Smedley. Of the Bath Pinch Smedleys? I was hoping someone would come along soon. I was about to defy my father's wishes and would never have forgiven myself. You see, I need to retrieve something from the bottom of the lake. Might you be the one to help me?
Diving into the lake sounds like an adventure. Tell me more.
Splendid! Precisely the response I'd hoped for.
What do you need help retrieving?
Years ago, my grandfather, who fancied himself quite the astronomer, set sail from Hogsmeade Station for what was meant to be a quick stargazing cruise with my grandmother. They never returned.
I'm so sorry. What happened to them?
We can't be sure. We only know that neither they nor their boat made it back to shore. They were presumed drowned. Father was so distraught that he forbade our family from setting foot on or in the Black Lake ever again. A treasured family astrolabe vanished with them that night. If you could dive down and retrieve it, I may be able to bring my father some peace.
You seem to think I might have heard of the Bath Pinch Smedleys. Why would I know of your family?
That's like asking why the sky is blue or grass is green. The Pinch Smedley name is synonymous with intellectual curiosity. We are known for our contributions to science and art. I'm surprised you haven't heard of us, frankly. But with all I plan to discover about the world around us, those that don't yet know the name certainly one day will.
What exactly is an astrolabe?
It's an astonishing ancient navigational tool, essentially a handheld model of the universe. It's mainly used for studying the stars, astronomical pursuits, but it has nearly 1,000 uses. Fascinating device. Sadly, I'd imagine it's rusted beyond repair now. Still, we'd love to have it returned to us. It would be like getting a bit of my grandparents back.
It sounds dangerous, especially for something of mere sentimental value.
I understand. But I'd be forever grateful. Of course, you may discover much more than the astrolabe. Anything else you found would be all yours. I've cross-referenced the vessel's last alleged location against the lake's topography, depth charts, and tide schedule. My best guess is that it's just over there, about a furlong from the dock. It would be wonderful to have my grandfather's astrolabe back. I do hope you find the astrolabe. It would mean so much to our family.
Sounds as if her astrolabe is just northeast of the dock. I should dive down and see. Grace, what is it you needed my help with?
I was hoping you could dive down and retrieve a treasured family astrolabe lost during a doomed stargazing cruise.
This must be where the Pinch-Smedley family astrolabe is. I should let Grace know that I found her family astrolabe.
Find the dive too terribly difficult.
Protego! Hello, Grace. I followed your bearings on a dive in the Black Lake.
Oh, how incredible! Did you find the astrolabe?
I did. I hope it makes your father happy.
It will. I can't wait to see his face. Thank you so much for doing this for me, and for my family. You do well to keep an eye out for more spots to dive. A diver of your caliber is certain to find all sorts of things down there. Thank you again. And I do hope you keep diving. You certainly have a knack for finding treasure.
Pardon me, is everything all right?
Hardly. I've just lost my business and almost my life. You'd best look elsewhere for wares. I've nothing to sell now. I never thought it'd come to this. Be on your guard. Ranrock and his loyalists will spare no one.
They attacked you.
Oh, Ranrock has no patience for goblins who won't join him. While I too would like to see goblin kind treated by wizards as equals, bloodshed is not the answer. When I said as much, they turned on me, struck me till I nearly passed out. Took my carts, my belongings, even that which is most precious to me, my paintings.
Has Ranrock's lot ever attacked you like this before?
They've been taunting and threatening me for a while now, but they've always believed that violence is the only way to get what they want. Things have taken a much darker turn of late. Ranrock is getting more powerful, and his loyalists know it. They feel untouchable. Ranrock assumed that all goblins would agree to follow him, but he was wrong. Many of us would like a diplomatic end to the discord with wizard kind.
You mentioned that your paintings were taken. Are you a painter?
I am. It's my calling, though most would think it an unusual path for a goblin. Most of my family work in metal, or associated with Gringotts. I'd wager my finest brush that Ranrock's lot have no appreciation for any of my work, and it'll be tossed aside for kindling. Without my carts and my livelihood, who knows when I'll be able to paint again?
I'm sorry this happened to you. I shall certainly keep an eye out for your carts.
That is very kind of you, but I think they took them to their camp southwest of here, just past some ruins. Too dangerous to try and retrieve them. I did enchant the carts to return to me if I ever lost them, however. Slim though the chances may be, I'm holding out hope that some of what was taken is returned to me. It was nice meeting you. I wish it had been under better circumstances.
Hello, sir. What do you sell here?
Hello, I'm Jalal Semi, and this is my potion shop. I can answer any questions you have about the town.
Any whispers going about the town?
There's a thief on the loose by the name of Katrin Haggerty. She's an ashwinder. She's stealing everything that's not nailed down, and people have had enough. Katrin's hiding in a camp just southwest of town.
Can you tell me a bit about yourself?
Oh, let's see. Well, I am Lower Hogsfield's preeminent potioneer, but I was once a lowly Hogwarts student like you. In fact, I'll give you the Hogwarts discount. It's the standard price. My prices are low enough already, you see.
What do you have for sale?
I sell only potions and their ingredients. If you can't fix it with a potion, then it's best left broken, I say. My ingredients are all local to this area, and my potions are brewed to keep you healthy and safe.
What do you have for sale?
What can I help you with today? I hope to see you again sometime.
After what Ranrock did to that goblin banker at Gringotts, I shouldn't be surprised at what happened to Orn. Revelio. Revelio.
Revelio. Revelio.
Past the ruins. I'm on the right track.
Accio. Incendio. Revelio.
An encampment. This must be it. Looks as if there's more than one way to enter.
Arn will regret not joining us. If he doesn't come round now, he'll be made even more of an example.
Could it be? How many of you are there?
Red Rock will you take us? I should have been so careful.
Incendio.
How many of you are there? Looks as if there's more than one way to enter.
Revelio.
Go and patrol.
Enjoy!
Pity.
Protego.
I won't rest until you're dead.
I know a Merlin trial would...
A miss!
You left me no choice.
I know what that means.
An intruder!
Protego! How many of you are there?
You regret coming here.
Banana! Watch it again, please! You were never going to win.